So as I've been recording manga reviews, doing stuff on manga, people have been asking me nonstop, what are some tips and tricks if you're trying to start cheap? Well, let's dive into what I personally do to keep my collection at a nice, cool, even pace. I've been collecting manga since like 2014, 2015, when I got out of high school, and I had my own dispendable income. So I'm going to go down the list, and I have it written right here, of what I do personally every single time when I'm getting into manga, or trying to collect it, or looking for something to add or do reviews on. So the first thing that I always do is clearance sections. Barnes & Nobles, Books A Million, Five and Below. There's different places that have cheap manga. And I will actually touch on Five and Below later on, but for clearance sections, you can usually find a bunch of things, especially at Books A Million. You can always find manga or light novels marked down, and that's how I find some of the random stuff that I can never usually find. Example, for Log Horizon Volume 2 of the light novel, I randomly found for $3 at a Books A Million up in Charlotte when I was up there for a convention. Just randomly. I found World Blue in the clearance section. I found a couple of Trinity 7 volumes in the clearance section. I found a bunch of things that you wouldn't usually find in clearance section, but because they have too much overstock or no one's buying them, they just push them away. Now, just because no one's buying them doesn't mean it's not good. It just might be overseen and people just don't know about it. The second best thing that I do, it comes around a couple times a year, holiday sales. For what used to be Right Stuff, which now belongs to Crunchyroll, then Barnes & Nobles will have book sales, Amazon will have book sales, usually around holiday seasons, whether it be anniversaries of the place selling the manga, or, you know, national holidays for United States, or whatever your respective region. There are websites that will cater to this. When it's usually what used to be Right Stuff, there used to be a ton of sales going on all time of the year, to which I could stock up and redo like all the missing volumes for like half off. I've gotten $10, $13 volumes for $5-6. Even right now, I think on Crunchyroll, I currently have Abandoned Sacred Beast up to the current volume. They're all knocked down to $5-6. So the deals are everywhere on the websites that are catered to anime and manga fans. Just got to go look, dive. Maybe it'll take a little bit of research, but it's definitely worth the look, especially if you are missing older volumes or if you're trying to catch up with a newer series that's coming out. It's definitely worth looking, and you'll save a good penny doing so. Now, this one's gonna go and sound a little weird, especially if you look at my tips trailer from, being a content creator, but there is a helpful subreddit on Reddit that are just full of manga creators and sellers. You can find older collections, you can find missing pieces, you can find a lot of things, and for a pretty good deal. And they're very reasonable. My roommate, that's where he gets a lot of his stuff. You can go to Reddit, find full collections or missing pieces or rare manga to add to the collection for either good price or at market price. And that's kind of nice because there's a lot of people out there scalping, especially the older volumes. It's out of hand and it's pretty bad, which is another reason why I'm making this video, to make it easier on people and spread the knowledge on where they can actually go and find good, reliable resources. Another place that I tend to go and find, or I found a bunch of new manga reviews that I have done over the last couple months, is Secondhand Stores. So used bookstores, Goodwills, thrift stores, that kind of nature will randomly have manga from time to time. So it does not hurt to look and take a minute just to veer off, go support some local secondhand stores. You might even be able to find manga, Pokemon stuff. I have found a wide variety of things, including some of the stuff that you see behind me. I have found them at secondhand stores. So they're out there. There are people out there. There are also small other business owners looking out there and trying to take stuff up for themselves. So it's a fight, but it's definitely worth the fight because you can find a lot of good things out there. Another one that might be a little bit controversial, but I have seen proven time and time again that does work, manga subscription services or anime adjacent. So Boxer-chan's a good example, which if you know who I am part owner of the business Boxer-chan. But what we do in there is we try to include manga if people request it, and a lot of people do. So we at least give you the first volume or a couple volumes depending on which box you get. So we strive on putting what people want and introducing them to new series. So they're always guaranteed a new series each box. There are manga subscription services out there. I have other patrons in the Boxer-chan Discord that have said they are getting it and they are enjoying it. So those subscription services are out there, and I'll try and link down below what I find out about those manga subscription services, because I'm actually interested myself. So whatever I find out, I will put down below in the comments. Now, Five and Below. It sounds like a weird thing, But when anime started getting really popular, Five and Below was one of those stores that got ahead with the curve and kind of ahead of the curve. Not like Hot Topic and Spencer's. They actually started selling manga and other anime related products, to which they have their own variant covers for certain manga that they have. I've seen Fairy Tail, Volume 1 of Fairy Tail, Volume 1 of One Piece, Volume 1 of Demon Slayer, and Hunter x Hunter. There are manga over there, and they're $5, which is way cheaper than a normal volume. A normal volume of One Piece is $10. That's already half off. So if you don't mind it being a variant cover to get your series started, definitely check Five and Below. They have a bunch of anime products as well, which I'm eventually going to do a video on, but you could definitely dive into Five and Below and see what they have. They're always switching up the manga, and they always have the big series out there. So if you're struggling to find volume 1 of like One Piece, Naruto, something like that, definitely go check out Five and Below. The last one I want to mention, which is kind of saving money but is kind of expensive up front, are box sets. And I'm going to do a video on the pros and cons later on. But with box sets, they do volumes 1 through like 25, 1 through 30 for a third of the cost. I think volume 1 or the first box set of One Piece covers all the East Blue art, and then Alabasta, which is I think like 25 volumes or so. That goes for like 100, well, at the time of its release was $150 to $180. That saves you at least $70 right there. So with box sets, the big appeal for them is you can knock out a whole series, such as Demon Slayer. The Demon Slayer box set itself, which I've done a video on, is the whole series. And I think goes for about $180 or so on release, to which there's like 25, 27 volumes. So you're saving like $80 right there. It's just how you look at it on saving money. If you can put that little bit up front, well, I won't say a little bit, that decent chunk up front, you can save the rest on the rest of the volumes. They're essentially making you pay for 3/4 and you get the last fourth free, which is saving a big ton of money, especially if it's a more expensive set. So with Sweat and Soap, they just got a box set of 1 through 4, 1 through 5, and their volumes cost like $13, $14. And I think the box set's like $30, so you essentially get that fourth volume for free. Just depends on how you look at the box sets, how you want to approach the situation, depends on how you save the money. Let me know down below how you guys shop for manga. If there's a website you prefer, if there's a subscription service you like, let me know down below, because I'm always looking for ways to save money when it comes to shopping for manga, trying to save money, doing all that stuff. So let me know. I love you all. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.